BBC Six Music.
Hello and welcome to the big British castle. It's time for Adam and Joe to broadcast on the radio. There'll be some music and some random talking in between, and then eventually the whole thing will just end.
It's the, that's a funny noise song there by The Verve.
Love is Noise, it's called. This is Adam and Joe on BBC Six Music. Good morning, listeners. My name's Joe.
My name's Adam.
Yeah, and we'll be here with you until noon. And have we got some exciting things coming up, Adam?
Was that rhetorical?
Let's have a think. What do you think? You're implying that I was implying that we don't have any exciting
No,
things.
I was implying it was like a bit of DJ rhetoric. Have we got some exciting things
Oh, I
coming
see.
up?
No, I don't say things like that.
Do you not? Yeah.
No.
Really?
No.
Well, you should, man. You know, that's all the big DJs do it.
It's true, isn't it?
You should really try it. You can win awards that way.
Don't like rhetoric.
Why? What's your problem with rhetoric
I
now?
don't know. It just gives me the willies.
Oh, for goodness. See, a nice bit of rhetoric. Come on. You're not going to be a politician like that.
It's true.
Right, come on. We need Dr. Cornballs to sort out the Third World War situation.
You're right. Since we were on air last week, the Third World War has begun.
Started up.
Bigfoot's been shot. The Chupacabra's been found. The world's gone crazy in the last week.
The British cycling team dropped out of the Olympics because it was too smoggy.
Tom Daley didn't win his medal things.
And the X Factor's starting up tonight. And here's the twist on the new series of the X Factor. What do you think it is?
It's a new lady.
No.
Doing the judges. I don't know. No, I tell you what it is. It's only the under 5s and the over 80s. That's the only one left, isn't there?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
No, here's the twist. It's on the cover of The Sun this morning. It says they're going to be meaner
No.
than before.
That's good, because the world's a tough place and it should be reflected in family entertainment
People should be
shows.
toughened up. In a couple of years, they'll just shoot them. They'll shoot them in the shins and stuff to begin with.
You know how I would improve X Factor? Or no, maybe Britain's Got Talent. I was thinking a twist on that for the new series.
Right.
It's just to make all professional celebrities compete in it.
That's a good idea.
So every year you'd have every person in the public eye to compete in
Celebrity
Britain's Got Talent.
national
And
service.
Yeah, you just do a sort of cull. And people like Peaches, Geldof, and us, you know, who reckon we've got something, do we?
Yeah.
Michaela Strachan, were you going to say?
No. And they cut you down to size as well.
They cut you down to size.
Yeah. Oh.
If you weren't good enough, Piers Morgan, who knows about that kind of thing, he'd have you out of the business.
We wouldn't be so smug then, would we?
We wouldn't, and many like us wouldn't be so smug. That's a good idea, don't you think?
Well, no, because I'm really enjoying being smug.
Right.
So that you've kind of
You're right.
put the fear of God into me. Why would you want to do that and ruin a good thing?
You're right, it's a stupid idea.
Let's have some music. This is The Doors. I don't know if you've heard of
who?
them. They're The Doors. It's named after...
Like Val Kilmer's the lead singer.
Exactly. And this is called Love Her Madly. I don't know if you know, but there's a film to go along with that song. Starring Val Kilmer, and it's very good.
Wow.
It's one of my favourites.
That's cool. They don't usually get the real lead singer to play the lead singer in the biopic.
I know, it worked out very well for
That's
them.
great.
Everyone was delighted.
It's Oliver Stone. He's very controversial.
He is. He's the hot new controversial director.
He's making a hot new film about George W. Bush,
Is it?
who's going to be knocked off his perch
Well, good.
when that's released.
Just about time. Or not, depending on your political point of view. Speaking of which, we were mentioning the encroaching Third World War there. If there's any young listeners, don't worry. It's almost certainly not going to happen. I'm glad to say, because of the high efficiency of the diplomatic corps.
They're talking about invading Poland, though.
I know, that's no good, is it?
Everyone knows Poland is the powder keg.
The powder keg. What I want to know is, it's all blown up pretty, that's an unfortunate choice
It's a
of
war
words.
of words. A war of rhetoric.
In the last week. So has the Big British Castle issued any special directives to the DJs? For example, are they allowed to play Russians by Sting? Which actually, if they were able to do, would sort the whole thing out.
It might
fairly
ameliorate the situation.
quickly. Yeah. Has anyone thought of that?
Russians love their children too.
Well, this is
And
the
I think the
point.
Americans have forgotten that.
Right.
The Americans think that Russians hate their children.
And people have been kind of taking the mickey out of Sting for the last decade or
It's
something.
about time he came back.
And what?
His powers are needed. He's in a tantric yoga position in the Fortress of Solitude.
Right.
Somewhere in the Arctic. And a voice is echoing across the tundra. Stephen! Oh, no, not Stephen. Stephen! And he's waking up from his trance.
Yeah.
He's been doing various tantric self-immolatory things.
Oh, Trudy. Sounds a bit like David Bowie.
He's getting Omar Hakim on the phone,
Yeah.
on the drums.
Right.
Yeah, and he's going to produce a single that's going to sort this out.
He's getting his loot out.
In fact, all those 80s people should come back together. You know, Geldof should stop worrying about Trixie Bell and use his powers as well. Where have all the 80s superheroes gone?
What's Bonio doing about it?
Exactly.
You know, what is he doing, an album or something now when the world actually needs him?
Come on, pop heroes.
Because
Get in there.
He could go out there, talk to President Medvedev and say, I'm going to put on a free concert for all the people fighting. Because that's how he talks.
I thought George Bush referred to Vladimir Putin as Pootie. Don't you remember those days?
In the
Yo,
olden
Pootie.
days, 2001, when...
He could just pick up the phone and go, hey, Pootie, this is getting a little stoopy.
Pootster!
It's stoopy, poopy.
What's happened to that kind of diplomacy? All we've got now is Condoleezza Rice, and she's sort of severe and, you know...
We haven't even mentioned Bigfoot.
Bigfoot, what happened to Bigfoot? Let's talk about Bigfoot afterwards.
In the next link, maybe.
Now, here's a free choice for you, listeners. This is Wilco. Do you like a little slice of Wilco? Joe? I would think you would.
Yes.
They fall into the alt-country bracket sometimes. But this was from an album where they slightly reinvented themselves, Yankee Hotel Foxtrot. And this is a lovely track called Heavy Metal Drum. What are you doing?
I'm typing, I'm looking for some facts, Adam. That's what this programme needs.
He's fact-checking.
Some proper facts. Yeah, there's been too much woolly thinking on this show.
Oh, no.
And now that the new Cold War started, everyone's got to tighten up their act. And I'm starting by logging onto the internet so that I can have some facts to back up what I say on this programme.
Well, that's just...
Ill-informed wooble has been going across of the airways.
Why would you want to ruin the whole formula?
Well, don't worry, because what I'm searching for is Bigfoot press conference.
You're much more worried about
So
Bigfoot
relax.
than the
Yeah.
Cold War. What happened then?
What happened yesterday? I'm a big Bigfoot fan. You know, I'm his number one fan. I like to follow the Bigfoot stories. And yesterday I woke up and my next door neighbour announced that Bigfoot had been shot.
That's...
Oh, by the way, did you hear Bigfoot's been shot? I was like, what? Yeah, it's all over the papers. So I went inside and I searched, you know, Bigfoot shot, images, Google,
Yeah.
and there's a body of Bigfoot in an icebox.
No.
Somewhere in Ontario or somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of hunters, professional Bigfoot hunters. They run a website whose name I won't repeat for reasons that will become clear later. They run a website and they've been tracking Bigfoot for a very, very long time.
So this is David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson you're talking about?
No, they're going after the paedophile priests.
Right, okay.
Of which Billy Connolly is the prime.
They got one of
offender
those?
in a fictional universe. Yeah,
Frozen
they've got
in a
them.
block of ice?
Probably, but no one's interested. Yeah, they've
No.
got it in the Empire Leicester Square, but no one's going to see it.
So how big is the corpse they've
7
got?
foot.
7 foot?
It's in an icebox.
That could
It's in
just-
a bit of a mess. Its entrails are half out.
Couldn't that just be you?
It could be me, but I'm not that hairy.
Right.
It's very hairy.
Oh, it's hairy.
And it's got a face like a monkey.
Huh? Could be a football player.
And anyway, I was very shocked by this picture. And not only that, but in this article, they announced that there was a press conference being held
Yeah.
an hour and a half later in somewhere in America where they were going to unveil the body.
Oh, wow.
And Fox News had this, all the news agencies had it. Yesterday afternoon, the third most popular search on Google were the words Bigfoot press conference.
Wow.
And I contributed to that several million times over.
Yeah.
Anyway, I do a bit more digging and I find some YouTube videos that have been posted by these men who say they've got the body.
Uh-huh.
And I watch the videos and they're insane. They're like mad. They'll probably hear this and come and try and get me. But they're insane sort of separatist, hunter, hillbilly types. Quite young men, but they're mad. And they're sort of baiting other Bigfoot websites. They've got a rivalry between Bigfoot hunters. The key to Bigfoot hunters is that it's very difficult to find a Bigfoot. Yeah, it's really, really hard to find evidence that they exist. And there's certain people in the world that there are men in there, you know, the what do you call it, like the great men of Bigfoot hunting are all now in their 70s and 80s, and they have these insane embittered feuds that have been going on for years. It's Louis Theroux territory. Mm-hmm. He's probably too clever to do something as stupid as Bigfoot, but they're all rivals, and there's a young generation of new hunters who are also so, embittered, insane rivals, and they carry out their rivalry on the internet. And you know how the internet turns everybody into a toddler when it comes to arguing.
Yeah, I've done it myself.
Yeah, and so these people are literally threatening to terrible things upon each other's heads.
Right.
And the war has escalated to such a degree that these people have trumped up a body. I say trumped up. The idea that that these people have actually shot one would be terrifying, and also quite likely.
Well, it's also quite likely.
Yeah, if anyone was going to shoot a Bigfoot, it would be some insane
Internet
sort of
nuts.
hunter, kind of Guns and Ammo style. They've got an ex-Marine in their video who threatens the camera with a big knife and a dog.
Nice.
It's really quite frightening.
Oh, the internuts. Do you think maybe there'll be some kind of film about it with Anton Deck in a few years' time?
A fictionalised film, maybe.
Like the Alien Autopsy one.
Maybe. The Ray Santilli one, maybe.
Yeah.
But these nutballs have managed to focus the entire, obviously not your attention, but most of the world media's attention on this announcement.
Does the corpse look realistic, though, or is it like that alien thing? No, exactly.
It's probably the same. It's easier to do a Bigfoot than an alien because it's mostly fur, isn't it? You don't have to get the details so right.
You just get some toys.
But anyway, to cut a very long story short, the press conference happened, and of course, one of the big giveaways of a hoax is that they give you something big, then they give you nothing. You know what I mean? If they really had it, they'd just show it.
Right.
And of course, they gave nothing at the conference. They didn't show anything. One more blurred photo. They just went on about their stupid website.
Right.
So that was yesterday. All of yesterday afternoon for me was taken up by following that. And now I feel like an empty husk. It's like the Big Brother experience, concentrated into one afternoon.
But what if it turned out to be true? I mean, gosh. Then you wouldn't feel like such an empty husk anymore.
No.
Would be nice, wouldn't it? Now, here's a trail for you listeners. Hope you enjoyed this.
You quite finished?
No, you see. Bo-doo-doo-doo-doo. That's an indie, a sort of minimal indie opera there in a way. It's like their Bohemian Rhapsody almost.
It's a very good song.
Not that it's got all the sections and everything, but it's an absolute epic, isn't it? And it's a smash. Never outstays its welcome.
You know, what I did with The Cure was I never bought any of their albums. I just went, when I was about 17, I went and bought the greatest hits.
Standing on a Beach.
Yeah.
It's a greatest hits.
It is, but I never felt, when you just do that with a band, you never feel you engage with them on a real fundamental level.
Yeah.
You always sort of feel like a tourist. Do you know what I mean?
Of course. But they were one of those kind of bands, a bit like the Super Furry Animals, actually.
What you're saying you didn't really need their albums?
You could happily visit them like a foreign country and have a very nice time there.
Yes.
And then come back from holiday and, not have to worry about anything too much.
I like the one with the cats.
The love cats.
I like the one in the cupboard.
That's the one.
In the cupboard. I don't like the other ones.
That was Tim Pope that directed that one, wasn't it, I think?
I don't know.
I might be talking to him at Bug in a month or so.
Bad news for him.
What kind of thing is that to
Just
say?
trying to burst your balloon.
My balloon?
That's my job, burst your balloons. I'm your official balloon burster. I stand beside you with a pin. Every time you get excited about anything, I just pop it. Now, boom.
Bad news for him.
Imagine.
My balloon burster. Jesus of the Christ. Now, listeners, it's time for the news here on BBC Six Music. That was the Kings of Leon there with Crawl. That's their new single.
I don't care about them since they shaved their beards off.
Really?
Yeah, not interested in them anymore.
He's got his beard back.
Has he? I'm interested again. He's got a beard back. I'm back in there.
Hey, this is Adam and Joe here on BBC Six Music. It's a Saturday morning. A little bit grey here in London town, but could be worse. Could be worse. I'm not giving up hope entirely. And we were just talking there during the song about all the Olympiads. And what's the name of our lady who's done some winning?
Fishsticks. Rebecca Fishsticks.
Rebecca Adlington. Well done, Rebecca, from all of us here at the Big British
Well
Castle.
done. You've done us proud.
You can swim across the moat and come and have some biscuits.
You can come to the show whenever you like. We'll stop refusing you entry. You may now come into the show.
You may now come in.
Do not speak, but you may come into the room.
You may bring your bags in too.
If you stink of chlorine, you will be out on your ass.
We were talking about Michael Phelps, though. He's the American fish man. And do you know much about Phelpsy?
No.
He is part fish and he is an extraordinary-looking guy. And
he's just been winning everything, right?
Yeah, he's winning everything. He's won like 7...
And he's developed his upper body to such an extent that he's like Mr... Which Mr. Man was the triangle with the little hat on? I can't remember. There was a Mr. Problems or something. Was there one of those? He's basically completely triangular. His feet have tapered and almost joined like a fish's tail.
Mr. Ennui.
Right, what?
Was that the Mr. Man?
Possibly. And his shoulders have developed to such a huge extent. His shoulder blades, do you call it? Yeah. Have almost developed into fins, shark fins.
That's right. And our producer Jude was pointing out that his lats are unusually well developed.
Women love fishmen, though.
How are your lats? What kind of lats are you looking at?
They're amazingly well developed.
My lats are like as if I've got some loaves of white bread and put them on to my strap them onto my back. Yeah, that's what my lats are like. But I envy Phelps because he looks lovely. He looks great. Did you know though? I found out about his diet.
Right.
And what would you think that a guy like that? You would think that a guy like that would eat just sort of cranberry.
That's a good question.
Just
probably
drink a lot
plankton. I think his teeth have developed into just hundreds of strands, and he just he eats while he swims, fishing any sort of filtering any kind of bacteria he can out of public swimming pools.
So you're just going with the idea that he's like a fish.
Yeah. You've ruined it now because you've pulled out the clever.
I thought I'd burst your bubble there.
Damn you!
I thought I'd pop your little balloon. But no, he actually eats stuff like he has like about 3 fried egg sandwiches for breakfast and stuff like this.
How can you chew when you haven't got any teeth?
He has them mashed up for him by his mother. Who is a blue whale.
Wow.
But no, he does. He eats like huge amounts of stuff and 10 steaks for...
is that really true?
11s. That kind of stuff, though, he eats a huge amount. And he'll just eat right the way through the day.
It's all very well being muscly, but as soon as you hit 40, it turns to fat.
Yeah.
You want to stick with someone like me.
Right.
Skinny, gone a bit podgy as he's got older. Perfect.
Yeah. But any time you wanted to, you could start...
all I'd have to do is a tiny bit of exercise.
2 weeks of exercise?
Ping into shape.
You'd be winning gold all over the shop.
It's true.
Yeah. Now listen, folks, in the next hour, we are going to be announcing the winner of our Video Wars competition.
Approximately 10:30. Excuse me for interrupting, but I thought I'd tell them the time. About 10:30 we'll be announcing the winner.
Right, just before the news at 10:30, we will be telling you who has won the competition. We'll also be naming a few runners-up. And sort of announcing what's going to happen to all these people. Some of them will be executed. Some of them will be allowed to live. It's going to be amazing and life-changing for them. And we'll also be speaking to Garth, our friend, who helped us judge the Video Wars competition, Garth Jennings.
Mr. Rush was the triangular Mr. Man.
Mr. Rush?
Yes. Suitable, really. Very streamlined. Be good for swimming.
What?
Mr. Rush?
I've never heard of Mr. Rush. What did he do? He just ran
someone
around.
Someone texted that in, or have you just looked at it on the internet? You have you, Mr. Rush?
Mr. Rush?
That must have been the 2nd or 3rd series when he got a bit hard up for names.
I'm surprised that he wasn't exploited as on a T-shirt during the sort of whole thing. You know
right.
What I mean?
Mr. Headrush.
Yeah, or something like that. It's just an idea for an idiot there. Now, here's the Divine Comedy, ladies and gentlemen, with Bad Ambassador.
It's the Divine Comedy with Bad Ambassador. This is Adam and Joe on BBC 6 Music on a Saturday morning. We hope you are feeling good this morning.
I thought you didn't say things like that.
I just began.
That's sort of rhetorical.
Is it?
No, not really.
It's not really.
Well, it's a sort of empty hope, though, isn't it? You don't really care.
I did. I pictured a listener then.
Yeah.
In bed, all cuddled up under a nice duvet with maybe a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
A sort of hermaphrodite listener, half man, half woman,
yeah.
Of indeterminate age, covering, basically all the bases.
Right.
Indeterminate racial background.
Yeah.
Sort of, a bit of everything.
Very open-minded.
Very open-minded, but at the same time very closed-minded.
Uh-huh.
That's who I pictured.
Very creative. And you were hoping that they were all right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's okay. Listen, I take it back. I know you care.
Thanks. So listen, it's free play time now, and this is something that's a bit of an internet phenomenon, Adam.
Chocolate rain.
A bit like that, yes. This is a guy called Doveman. Do you know about Doveman?
No,
Why not?
I just don't. I haven't been on the internet for a while.
He has a friend, this man. He's an American man. His real name's Thomas Bartlett. He's got a friend, okay, and this is where it gets a bit serious. His friend had an older stepsister.
Yeah.
It's already, various distances removed now from, so it's probably entering the arena of untruth. But he had an older stepsister who sadly died.
Yeah.
And he was rummaging through her stuff, and this is the story behind this anyway. He found a cassette of the soundtrack to Footloose. And he'd never seen the film Footloose. He didn't really know about it. He was a young chap. But he became sort of obsessed with it and started listening to it over and over again. And he was so moved by it and trying to imagine his elder stepsister's youth and the fact that she was into Footloose when he wasn't even alive yet, that he became obsessed with the soundtrack. So he got his friend, Thomas Bartlett, a.k.a. Doveman, to cover basically the whole album, which is quite a cool idea. He covers every single track on the Footloose album, which is anyway a compendium of lots of different artists.
Yeah.
That's quite a good idea, don't you think?
That is a good idea.
It's like a band doing a cover of Now That's What I Call Music For, or something. Every single, the Nick Kershaw, the ABC, just doing everything. So this guy's done this with Footloose. Do you remember any of the tracks on Footloose?
Let's hear it for the boy. And of course there was Footloose, Footloose.
Those are the two most famous ones. I can't really remember any others either. Jude's got one.
Holding Out for a Hero.
Was that on Footloose?
Yeah.
Really?
That is an absolutely awful song.
And Shalimar, Dancing in the Sheets.
I like Shalimar. That's not, they don't mean dancing, do they?
I don't think so.
So anyway, here is his cover of the track Footloose. Now, because it's a sort of memorial, it's very melancholy.
Right.
But most covers of famous songs are, aren't they? I mean, this is something bands do quite a lot, isn't it? Pick a kind of cheesy 80s song, then do a super serious cover of it.
Yes,
Hasn't that happened in the past?
Yeah, you go the opposite way with it, don't you? And, well, it happens the other way around as well. You can take a kind of sad song and make it poppier.
Right, like Limp Bizkit did with Faith.
Uh-huh.
Right, so that's the one I can think of. Which way round was that?
Did they do it with Faith?
Didn't they? Didn't Fred Durst? He's Limp Bizkit, isn't he?
Well, you gotta have faith.
Yeah, they had a yeah.
I didn't know
Isn't that them? I think it is. Anyway, listen. Here's Doveman with his very moving cover of Footloose. Okay, we're just going to fade out of this.
You
get the general picture.
You get the general picture about 30 seconds.
Adam started laughing when he went into the chorus. You were saying that really the stupidity of the basic lyrics overpowers any kind of sentiment there.
Well, the fact that it's so well known, that chorus, and it's such a goofy, joyful chorus, it sort of overwhelms any attempt to make it melancholy, really, because all you can hear is Loggins yelping.
Log. Good idea, though. We were trying to think whether we could spin an idea for Song Wars out of that.
Yeah,
but we don't really want to do covers.
The problem with covers is you can't put them on a best-selling album.
No.
And that's all we care about.
What now?
It's time for a trail, Joe. And can you guess? Just have a guess what this is.
Oh, God. Is it a trail for Maestro, the BBC's new programme with celebrities trying to conduct? Goldie does it and swears and... Oh.
I watched that this week. We should talk about that later on. I've no idea what this is for. Let's find out. I have no idea what this is.
BBC6 Music.
That was Furniture with Brilliant Mind. That was a session track there they were doing.
Recorded for Janice Long on Radio 1 on the 20th of February 1985.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
This is Adam and Joe here on BBC 6 Music. It's coming up to 10 o'clock on Saturday morning, and we have our old friend Garth Jennings on the line right now.
Good morning.
Hey Garth, how you doing, man?
I'm very well. It's very nice up here at the moment.
Whereabouts are you?
I am in your house.
In my house.
I'm in your house because you're moving house next week and I'm in it already.
Yes, well, don't say where it is, otherwise I will have all kinds of freaks and crazies camping on my lawn. It's
well, to be honest, I don't think they'd find it. It's very difficult to find.
It's the kind of thing I'm moving to get away from, all the media attention.
But listeners should be reminded that Garth was the third judge in our Video Wars competition. This is a competition we've been running for the last, couple of months or something?
Yeah.
Even though it closed a while ago, to make a video for one of two Song Wars songs, early efforts, Jane's Brain and Meatballs. we invited people to make videos for them and upload them to the BBC site, and we had an extraordinary response. Over 100 entries.
143 we got.
143, beautifully, every single one of them beautifully honed.
There was 2 that weren't beautifully honed.
And we were humbled by the volume and standard of entries. Is that not true, Garth Jennings?
Well, I was jealous because we'd had a film competition for Son of Rambo, and although we did find one terrific winner, which we put on our DVD, they were nowhere near the standard of the rest of your lot.
Garth directed Son of Rambo. We should also tell listeners. I'm keeping listeners, happy with the bottom line, factual information here.
It's working a treat.
Yeah,
no, but
just
I
in
really
case.
did think your lot were amazing. I was in hysterics judging it.
You know what it made me think, the standard of entries? It made me think that there aren't any shows on the BBC generally that invite people to be creative anymore, are there?
That's what you mean, like a sort of...
Well, there used to be. Was Vision on the BBC? Blue Peter on the BBC? These are all kids' shows. Screen Test. But, on the top of my head, I can think of 3 children's shows, certainly, that used to invite people to send stuff in. They used to have, Young Inventor of the Year and stuff, didn't they?
I forgot about that.
I guess they still have stuff like that. But if we were like a big, powerful show, I would have kind of a regular thing where people could send stuff in. And then I thought we could give out badges like Blue Peter used to. Gold, silver and bronze. Adam and Joe badges. And you'd only get the gold one if you saved a life. Do you remember, like on Blue Peter, they did that?
Well, absolutely. Someone has to be near death for you to get the gold.
Yeah, but everybody who entered this Video Wars competition in this imaginary world would win some kind of a badge, and that would get them entry into exhibitions at sort of trendy galleries around the country.
Great idea. I don't think you should belittle yourself, though. I think you could actually do that right now.
Do you think?
Yeah, you've got the power.
The problem is we can't be bothered.
It's not a question of, it's not so much a question of not being able, not being bothered. It's just there's so many rules at the castle.
I know, we wouldn't be allowed.
You wouldn't be allowed.
You wouldn't be allowed to send people something with a pin. That would be murderous. But Garth, tell us about your general feelings about the entries. We can't be too specific because we don't want to give away who's won yet.
Oh, it's a shame because I've got loads of notes about each one loads of them because I wrote down things about all my favourites. But they were very funny. That was the main thing. You had some really funny ones. I also think you've clearly opened the floodgates with the whole Adam and Joe approach to filmmaking.
Right.
There were lots of, I could see lots of people picking up from where you've left off with the TV show.
Right.
But I just think what's nice and heartening is that people seem to be having a good time and making their own beautiful little films.
Yeah, exactly. They were much less sort of weird than I thought. Like I just thought there would be a lot of weird, sinister things being made. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because when we were at art school, people just thought it was enough to film something.
Yeah.
It was okay. I filmed it. That must mean it's half good. And I was expecting a lot more of that.
It's true, isn't it? The general technical level's really, really high, and the level of imagination and stuff. And, TV bosses, particularly bosses of particular channels, should be quaking in their boots, because there's a massive public out there that can do it almost better than Lily Allen can. Do you know what I mean? It's almost as if there's more talent off the screen than there is on.
It sounds unbelievable.
It sounds incredible, doesn't it?
So listen, Garth, around about 10:30, we are going to be announcing the winner, and maybe we'll give you a call then as well.
Yeah,
and you can join us, because you don't know who's won. I know you do know who's won.
He does. He was one of the judges.
He's one of the judges, wasn't he?
It's one of the...
Now, it's all
Unless
coming
he's
back to
been
me.
drinking very heavily since...
You okay there, Ad?
I haven't slept in 10
Moving
years.
house is one of the most stressful experiences of anyone's life.
Yeah, that's right. All right, man. We'll speak to you in a bit, Garth.
Okay.
Speak to you later, Garth.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Now, are we going to play the top of our sweeper here, Jude, or are we just going to miss the top of our
It's
sweeper?
hardly the top of hour, is it? It's 4 minutes past.
Because that would be misleading. If people heard the sweeper, they'd go, "Oh, sweeper, darling, I just heard this top of our sweeper." And she'd say, "It's 5 past. What kind of top of our sweeper is that?"
What kind of radio show are you listening to? It's moronic and amoritish. Amoritish? It's moronic and amoritish. Listen to Jonathan Ross instead.
All right, darling, sorry. Is how the conversation would go.
I can't even say amateurish. What kind of a program is this?
Let's go. Oh no, I had a joke about this song. This
No
is
joke,
we're going to
music.
play "The Passenger" by Iggy Pop, and I can't remember. Oh yeah, it wasn't much of a joke. The joke was just to sing "I am Kim Passenger."
Well, thank God you're not going to do
And
it.
I ride and I ride. Anyway, here's the song. I see a packet of giant fries. I see a little dog whose name is Mike. I see a man with a little hat on. That's some extra lines he could have used.
Thanks.
I see a girl with a black coat. That's not very good, is it? That was Iggy Pop with The Passenger. This is Adam and Joe here on BBC Six Music, and it's time for this jingle.
Text the nation. Text the nation.
What if I don't want to?
Text the nation.
But I'm using email. Is that a problem?
It doesn't matter, text.
There's a little bit of a topical text the nation today. Actually, it's not topical, really. It is in the broader sense, I suppose, of the word. But around this time of year, people are coming back from their holidays, their little summer jaunts, you know, and it's always a difficult time. Some people enjoy coming back home, you know, maybe 2 weeks. You've just reached that stage where you're getting a little bit bored of the holiday and you're ready to get back to the routine. Usually if you go for 1 week, that doesn't happen. 1 week isn't long enough. But for some reason, 2 weeks is a tiny bit too long. Do you ever get that?
Yeah, 2 weeks is just right, if you ask me.
Right. So you come back...
3 weeks is spot on.
Yeah.
Anything better than 3 weeks?
A month.
4 weeks. 4 months.
4 months.
A year off.
After a year, you start getting a little bit itchy.
I get itchy for more holiday. After a year.
You can't get enough holiday. Sometimes it's a little bit more exhausting, though, if you're out there with the family and you've got children and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes you slightly yearn for the routine to be re-established, because the holiday can end up being more exhausting than your regular routine.
No, I can imagine.
So anyway, for Text the Nation today, we were going to ask you just about some of the things. It's an opportunity for you to offload some of the things that are depressing about coming back from holiday and some of the things that you really enjoy about coming back. Now, this is one of these kind of subjects that probably most DJs would do on there.
It's very Radio 1, but that's no bad thing.
No, because the whole thing is, it's not about the subject, it's about the responses, right? That's what makes Text the Nation the number one feature.
That's true, in the country.
In the country.
As voted by Grazia. Bella. Magazine. Is there a magazine called Bella?
Tittles, Tottles, Spritzer, and Nips magazine have all voted for... Actually, none of that's true.
Wow, you just reeled off the top 5 women's magazines.
Tittles, Tottles, Spritzer, and Nips.
Yeah.
And what was the number 5?
I don't know. Grazia.
Grazie. Anyway, so yes, it's a chance for you to enthuse about the joys of returning from holiday. What are the good things about getting back from holiday, and also some of the bad things? You know, I tend to focus on the miserable aspects of things. It's something I enjoy. And the obvious ones when you get back from holiday, right? Like, have you been away very recently? You've been to LA recently,
yes,
haven't
but
you?
for work.
Yeah, for work. So what's it like? Is it a different feeling getting back from work abroad? I've never done that before. How does it compare to being on holiday?
Oh, it's a different feeling because coming back is like you've finished work.
Yeah.
In a way. So it's nice to get home and get back into your old routines.
Yes.
Come up on the sofa with the telly on. Often I come back with a bag full of DVDs of exciting movies. Oh, maybe watch one of those. You know?
So it's nice, it's enjoyable.
And the jet lag. I tell you, I like jet lag.
Are you?
It's glamorous. Yeah. I like waking up in the small hours and doing things, you know, being wide awake at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
It's exciting. Having an excuse to go to sleep at tea time. It's all good.
Doesn't it make you feel mad? Jet lag always used to make me feel
I
insane.
like it.
Oh, I don't really enjoy it. What about things like more mundane things, like the fact that, I don't know if this is true of all airports now, but when we got back recently from a little spell in France, you had to pay £1 for the trolleys now?
No. What airport was that?
Luton Airport. Ooh. What the hell basket is going on with the world now?
Did you get it back? Was it a deposit?
No.
Really?
You leave it in there.
I tell you the most shocking thing about little airports, you know, we're talking not Heathrow or Gatwick, we're talking Stansted or Luton or those ones. When you get the cheap flights from the cheap airlines, it's the room they make you stand in before you board.
Right.
An entirely featureless room with no phone method of communication at all. You're locked in there. And you're just put in a kind of thing like you're waiting for a roller coaster.
Right.
You know, wound round in a kind of zigzag. And and a big, it's really frightening, and it feels like you're going to be killed.
Yeah, you're going to be shipped off somewhere.
Yeah.
Because you're human detritus.
Exactly.
That's how they treat you, though. And who's the guy, that jackass who runs Ryanair?
Stelios.
Who was in the, no, not Stelios. There's
He's
another guy who's the most cynical man in the entire world.
Oh, yeah. No, the Irish fellow who keeps complaining about everything.
And he's not fast. He's totally
He does all those
brazen.
very provocative adverts.
Yeah.
This is our opinion, not the opinion of the big British castle.
Exactly. But, he couldn't give a stuff.
I'm going to call him Michael Ryan, who I
however
think is a
much-
terrible killer. But, that'll do.
Yeah, exactly. No, it won't do. Excuse
It
me.
won't do, that's terrible.
I'm choking on that bad fact. That's a disgusting fact, and I've got to cough it up there. There we go. It's fine. It's gone now. But anyway, let's not dwell on him. But it's awful. The whole business of ripping people off, and the way they find new ways to rip people off, and the trolley thing particularly. I mean, that's outrageous. Garth, in fact, I was talking to the other day. He came up with a good idea. This is a money-making scheme for someone. Is invent like a little fold-away set of wheels that you just attach to your bag. If your bag doesn't already have wheels, right?
I'm sure it exists.
Now, it must exist, you would think, right? But something that you can strap around 3 or 4 large bags and then just wheel it along.
I'm sure they exist.
You would think so, but that's the hallmark of a genius idea.
I think I've seen one is the thing.
Really?
I think, you sometimes see people on holidays who are like professional holiday goers and they've got all the amazing equipment.
All the gear. James
Yeah.
Bond.
James Bond on holiday.
That's probably what
Everything
he has.
folds away.
When he gets back.
Stores in his shoes.
There's no way that James Bond is going to pay £1.
No, but he's not
for a
going to go
trolley.
buy a low-cost airline.
Because
is he?
Q would have fitted him out with some kind of strap with wheels
Exactly.
on. Exactly. So listen, folks, text us or email us even your ideas for, your thoughts about what strikes you as annoying or fun about getting back from holiday. Okay, we'll have some more examples.
The number is 64046, or you can email adamandjoe.6music@bbc.co.uk.
Yeah, we'll give you some more examples shortly. But right now, here's David Holmes with I Heard Wonders. That's David Holmes, the Irish DJ man, with a track called I Heard Wonders. And I'm assuming that is David Holmes stepping up to the plate with a bit of vocal shenanigans there. I didn't use the word shenanigans as a kind of reductive, racialistic comment, because he's from Ireland. I just used it.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
Is it?
Everything's okay.
Are you sure?
Just stay calm.
Why did I even start saying all those words just then?
Because you got to say something. You're on the radio.
Really?
You got to fill the dead air.
All I wanted to say was that I thought that was brilliant. That was a really good song.
It's the first single to be released from his forthcoming album, The Holy Pictures, that's being released on the 8th of September, and that single's out on September the 1st.
Shenanigans. Do you know how to spell shenanigans?
Yes.
How do you spell it?
S-H-E-N Shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Is that correct?
I think it is.
I could be on one of those spelling bee things.
What about... what's the Irish instrument that's very difficult to spell?
Boron.
Boron?
The Irish
That's an element.
Yeah, hydrogen,
is it?
helium, lithium, beryllium, boron,
How
carbon,
do you spell
nitrogen,
boron?
oxygen, fluorine, neon.
B-O-D-H-R-A-N. Bod Haran.
Oh, I
Or
see.
R-A-H-N.
And that's how you pronounce it, is it?
Boron. Yeah.
Anyway, listen, let's stay on topic.
Well, we haven't got the topic yet.
We're going to do more Text the Nation things.
Okay, yes.
We've introduced to you what people might think is kind of a broad, Radio 1-ish subject, exciting or depressing things about coming back from holiday, but we're trying to focus it into an intriguing area, right?
Oh,
Maybe we're not. Okay, no, I was misguided. I'm wrong. We're not doing that.
here's some things. Let's see if you agree with these.
Yeah.
That one of the most obvious things is the post pile when you come through the door.
The post pile.
Do you love the post pile?
Don't get much of a post pile. Because people, it's just bills these days, isn't it?
Exactly.
Because people don't really write letters anymore. Very few people know how to actually write using a pen.
I've no idea.
And people under 20 don't really know because they type and text.
Exactly.
So that you don't really get letters anymore.
Get letters. That's a shame, isn't it?
It's true.
What about
it's just bills and mags?
What about stray Amazon post stuff like that? You might get.
What you mean, stray stuff you've ordered that's taken a long time to come, or stuff that's been misdelivered?
Oh, that never happens.
Yeah, no.
Surely it never happens.
I suppose so.
Yeah, well, because what's the best thing you can get in your holiday post nowadays? Sky Mag.
That's not the best thing.
Come on.
That's the worst
It's
thing.
amazing. All the articles.
That's the worst magazine.
What are you talking about? It's amazing. I'm writing for them. No,
Are you?
I'm not. No, I'm editing. I'm not. There's the bills. No, it's...
Postpile is good. Let's move on. What else?
Postpile is depressing, basically.
Yeah.
It used to be fun in the olden days. Now it's a nightmare. Phone messages.
Right. That's true. I tell you, I like the emails coming in. I like having 124 emails or something.
Oh, emails is different.
That's just if I've been away for a weekend.
124.
That's just a weekend.
Right.
That number was much too low for a 2-week holiday.
117 of those will be spam, and then a couple of those will be nice. But yeah, no, I'm thinking more of actual phone messages. Do you still get those? And have you got recently, I mean, this is in the last 4 months or something, you're getting random spam phone messages. One is getting them. Have you got those recently?
I have had them in the past. I wouldn't connect them particularly to coming back from holiday.
Well, it's out of control now because sometimes they just ring over and over and over and over again. And there's nothing you can do to stop them.
When you get back from holiday, there's loads of them.
Yeah, they've just
I'm just
filled
trying
up
to tie
your-
it into the holiday thing.
Yes, when you get back from holiday, there's
Yeah.
loads of them.
Yeah.
Come on, Dr.
I haven't
Sexy.
haven't experienced
Have you
that.
not?
No.
Go away for 2 weeks, and it'll happen to you. I'm telling you, it's a nightmare. Also, what else? Oh yeah, stinky fridge.
Stinky fridge.
Do you clean out the fridge before you go away? Are you diligent about that, or
Yeah, our fridge is quite sweet smelling. It's not that stinky.
not got any meat in there?
Some ham, possibly.
So you're making sure you eat all the ham before you go
Probably,
away?
yeah. More likely to have decomposed fruit in our house.
Yes,
Yes.
in a big bowl.
In a big bowl. The satsumas are the sneaky ones because they look good from the top. Lift them up, they peel off the bottom, and they're all mouldy and strange.
Well, you get one that goes weird. Sometimes you get a bag of them, and there's one bad satsuma in there.
Same thing in the police force.
Sets the whole lot off.
One bad satsuma.
One bad satsuma and
The whole police force is corrupt.
takes the whole force down. Listen, let's have some music because we've got to announce the winner of Song Wars. Are we going to do it after the news?
Video Wars.
Yeah,
After 10:30.
after the news.
So
yeah.
here's a record, and after that there'll be something at the bottom of the hour, and then we'll have the big announcement.
Now,
Wow.
here's a free play for you, listeners. This one popped up on my MP3 device the other day.
Well, you're getting all the free plays just because I played that Footloose rubbish.
What are you talking
I've been
about?
banned from free plays.
You're getting another one.
Another one in a half an hour.
I'm like a
Calm
child.
down, Dr. Sexy. Now, this is a live version, and normally I've got an aversion to live versions.
A live version of version.
A live version of version. But maybe it's one of the nice things about getting older is that you start to appreciate things like this. This is an amazing version of Sweet Jane by the Velvet Underground from their 1969 live album, The Year I Was Born, Joe. Amazing to think that this was going on as I was busting out. But it's a weird... Yeah, okay. It's a weird album because it sounds as if they're in a little cafe with about 16 people in the audience, It's very intimate, and it's got some great stuff on there, and you think... And it really evokes how exciting it must have been to actually see this band play and how great they must have sounded. So I hope you enjoy this version of Sweet Jane. 16 people, see, in the audience there. That was the Velvet Underground with a live version of Sweet Jane. This is Adam and Joe here on BBC Six Music. It's time now for the news, read by Harvey Cook and Louise Hullen. It's Brian Storm, not Brainstorm, you see. Brian Storm. Joe.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, but I'm saying it.
I know all about the Arctic Monkeys, and I knew that was called Brian Storm.
Give me an Arctic Monkeys fact.
One of their best fans is David Cameron. That's my fact. It's Adam and Joe on BBC Six Music. It's now time for an extraordinary part of the show. We're now going to announce the runners-up and the winner of Video Wars, our big competition. Now, Adam, you've done some sort of a special jingle. At what point should it be played?
I think probably around about now.
Okay.
It's time for Video Wars, the war of the vids. It's a competition where we ask the kids to make a video for us. It was also open to adults. We got some great entries. Now here's the results, so check them out.
Very nice.
Thanks.
Good work.
Yeah, hello, Garth.
Oh, sorry, am I on?
Yeah, that's
I didn't know I
listeners.
was on there.
Well, be careful. You are now live
Swearing.
It's no swearing, because Garth's got the most potty mouth. In,
He has. He's a
the
filthy
industry.
man. This is Garth Jennings you're hearing, listeners. He's the director of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and Son of Rambo and many fantastic pop videos. He's a proper director, a professional director. And he was one of the judges. And we all sat down together and chose... You go on. Butty.
Sorry to interrupt. Garth, I was going to say that I showed your coffee and TV video for Blur to my young sons this week, and they absolutely loved it.
Oh, that's good.
That was a smash. All your stuff is pretty good for the under fives, though.
I think that's an insult, Garth.
I'm not sure the bands were so keen on that.
It's not an insult at all. It's a masterpiece. I'm going to show them the Supergrass pumping on the stereo one tomorrow, I reckon.
So listen, we should crack on with these results.
Yeah.
We've said a million times thank you to everybody who's entered, and it really is horrible having to pick winners and runners-up and stuff because everyone did so really well. Don't you think, Garth?
Yeah, well, I honestly thought when you asked me to come in and judge this video thing, I thought it would be really awful.
Okay.
Most people I thought would just do rubbish, and it was amazing.
They
I
all
really
did
enjoyed
good.
it.
But we've had to choose some winners and a winner and some runners-up.
We should say as well that we spent a good 2 hours having all of us watch the videos individually beforehand. We watched every single thing that came in, and then we all agreed on a short list, and then we came in and spent 2 more hours sitting there and discussing all the entries.
It got a bit tense at
It
times.
did get tense.
Got a little bit tense. I got into a little fight with Garth. There's a bit of a scuffle, and in the fight, Garth reached out and he smacked Joe in the shins, and then Joe fell
Then
backwards.
Garth ripped my shirt off. And then 2 of the
That
women
wasn't
there got
fighting, though,
really
that was-
overexcited.
Yeah.
And it just got a bit blurry. It was blurry what was going on at that point.
Snogging. It was like that.
Anyway, listen. Let's stay on topic here. Before we announce the runners-up, we should tell you what they've won. The main winner wins the chance, wait for it, to come into the studio and do what? To watch the show.
Hang out with us. You can choose whether you want to come and actually sit in the studio with us or watch us through a glass partition.
You know, since we announced that dreadful prize, there's some other more tangible good things going to happen to the winning video. It's going to be showcased on the 6 Music website from 11 a.m. this morning. It's going to be on 6 Music's mobile site, so you can watch it on your telephones. The winner's going to come in and spend the morning here at 6 Music and be on the show, and it's highly possible that the winning video will be on the BBC's Red Button service, on the actual telly from next weekend, and even possibly on the BBC big screens around the country. We're waiting for confirmation, but there might be some amazing extra thing going on the BBC's big screens. So stay tuned for that. Everyone will win a signed copy of the Song Wars album. Garth, are you throwing in copies of Son of Rambo as well?
I'm throwing in copies
That's
of
fantastic.
Son of Rambo.
So let's get on with it. These are the runners-up in no particular order. We're going to build up to the winner, but these are the 4 runners-up. Adam, who's the first of the 4 runners-up?
Well, this was the Emmett family, who created a kind of amazing drama in their kitchen. We had a lot of people making videos for the Meatballs song in their kitchens, but this one really stuck out because it was clearly a family effort. And they had what I assume was their young daughter, unless they just borrowed a young girl from another family. And she was doing an amazing job. It started off with her just singing a little bit of James Brain before...
It had a framing narrative.
Yeah, it was great. Before the video for Meatballs started up, it featured a lot of things, a couple of things that other people had done, like inserting, sort of animating a little face into some meatballs. But it was done particularly well in this case. Didn't you think, Garth?
Yeah, because actually it was weird. The Meatballs looked a little bit like Joe.
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
You're
I
right.
made a
The
little note here.
Meatballs was
Meatballs looked
their
like Joe.
son. Was their son, the Emmett's son, like his face wiped into a meatball. So that might be quite insulting to the young chap.
No, I think that's a compliment.
But we all...
Max. What was the daughter's name?
Laura.
Laura and Max.
Well done, Laura Max.
Well, yeah, but that was a fantastic effort, and people can see the runners-up on the website, presumably, as well, can't they? Yeah. So go and check that one out. The Emma, and it was such a sort of heartwarming endeavour, wasn't it, that the whole family had done it in their kitchen, and it was, you know, we felt really showed the quality of British families working together.
Yeah,
which is, of
especially
course,
that ending with the giant meatball head.
Oh, and yeah, mixed media effects as well. Practical props. They made all the props in the fridge. They had graphic effects with the wipes. All sorts of stuff going on there.
It looks like a very healthy and happy household, which is what we like to see.
So congratulations to the Emmett family. They're one of our runners-up. The second runner-up is a lovely lady called Ali...
Boy.
What, really?
Yeah, Ali's the...
Really? Oh. And so his wife was starring, and were they both in the video? Okay, I'll start that again. A lovely man called Ali McKernan, they've made an amazing video, which is it's animation, but it's done in camera. So I don't know what to compare it to, really, but it's a bit like those Japanese game show things you see on YouTube, where they reproduce Super Mario Brothers with massive cutouts and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And scrolling panoramas.
Uh-huh.
So it's a car race. It's another one for Jane's brain. She's having a car race. She's got a giant helmet. It goes inside her crash helmet, and you see her brain. But it's all done with kind of two-dimensional cardboard cutouts in camera, but yet it's all moving. Is that a decent enough description, Garth?
Yeah, it was brilliant. I mean, that's what I think we were all blown away by, is the effort they went to. I think it was the most amazing effort. Again, that was a family effort. Didn't they have their mums and dads?
I think so, nans and everything.
Background
pulling
scenery
ropes
and everything.
Yeah.
It's extraordinary. You really should check that out, because at the very least, it'll be nicked by some mobile phone company for their next campaign or something.
Well, it certainly had a touch of the Michel Gondry about it, and the creativity
in there.
And amazing attention to detail. Even the closing credits, which go on for considerably longer than the main feature, but
They
that's
were
not
about
their fault,
20
because the song is short. But every credit is introduced in a new, brilliant little way.
Yeah, it was a wonderful piece of work. Another runner-up was Bill Edwards, who created... the best bit of animation that we saw, like from scratch, you know what I mean? Was it actually Flash that he was using there, Garth, do you think?
I have no idea. That was the black and white one with you very angry.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that captured you in a nutshell there.
A brilliant, cartoon of Adam, who basically looks like a black bag if you pulled the corners and put shoes and hands on them.
And then you're at the end with some Courvoisier or something, aren't you?
Who, me?
You, Joe, aren't you at the end of that one with a little...
Yeah, I'm sort of portrayed as a kind of king of the world, which I enjoyed a lot. And there are some spoof headlines in there, including one that says, "Cornish is the best human ever," which I thought was a particularly clever and perceptive touch.
Yeah, I had a couple of problems with this one because basically it boiled us down. The whole thesis of the thing was Buxton is a kind of midget, a furious little hairy midget man, and Cornish is this kind of cool, long guy sipping his Courvoisier and lording it all over the rest of the...
Whose child is that? Is that one of Adam's?
That's the kids. They just invaded the room that I've said, do not come into this room. That's the stupidest thing. I shouldn't have done that, really, should I? Because now I've made it the most exciting room to go into.
Yes. So that's Bill Edwards, his Angry Adam cartoon. That's fantastic, Bill, and really good animation there. Quite reminiscent of Ronald Searle, is he called? Is that his name? Really sort of brilliant style to the animation, and everyone should go and check that one out. And if he doesn't get a job in some big cartoon company, then there's no justice at all.
Final runner-up that we were really knocked out by, I particularly loved this one, was Stuart Lansley, who made a pastiche of the video for No Surprises by Radiohead. Obviously, the original one of those had Tom York's head in a big bowl of water that gradually filled up. So that's exactly what Stuart Lansley did for the Meatballs track. But the clincher was that he put meatballs in the bowl.
Yeah.
Like his head was in a big kind of goldfish bowl thing, which gradually filled up with what appeared to be boiling water. Obviously, I hope it wasn't. And someone would drop in meatballs and kind of stir them around while he was singing the lyrics.
And this is all for real in one take. So this is a kind of Houdini-esque feat of human endurance. It's also spot on. Perfect parody of that Radiohead video, down to every tiny detail, and it also provides a brilliant interpretation of the song by adding the meatballs and the stirring. And the most impressive thing is when the water drains and he's being attacked by these meatballs when they're suspended in the water. They're trying to get up his nose and they're like rubbing on his eyeballs. The water drains away and he manages to lip sync the last line.
It's great. He went through, in fact, he probably went through even more than Tom York did when he did the video. If you've ever seen that wonderful Radiohead film, Meeting People Is Easy, you see the behind-the-scenes trauma that Tom York went through when he was shooting that video. But I'm sure that Stewart went through the same kind of pain, because it's not easy to just get a bowl there and fill it full of water and...
Yeah, and to make it worse, a spoon comes in halfway and starts stirring it around his face.
Man, it's great. I was really knocked out by that one.
So those are the 4 runners-up, listeners, and we do urge you to check those out on the Adam and Joe's 6 Music website, because they are all worth your time. They'll be up there from 11am. Before we announce the big winner, we're going to play a record. Will you stay on the line, Garth?
Yeah, sure.
This record is apropos of nothing. It doesn't sort of fit at all into the logic of this.
But it's good.
But it's good. Oasis with the Chemical Brothers remix of Falling Down. We'll be back in a second.
It's time for Video Wars, the war of the vids. It's a competition where we ask the kids to make a video for us. It was also open to adults. We got some great entries. Now here's the results, so check them out.
So if you've just tuned in, we're in the middle of announcing the results of our Video Wars competition, where we asked listeners to make a video for 2 of our Song Wars song, and we had lots of fantastic entries. We've already just told you about the 4 runners-up, the Emmett family, Ali McKernan, Bill Edwards and Stuart Lansley, all of whom did amazing work, but there is a winner, and his... Garth, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Who's going to get to announce the winner? It's too
you
exciting.
guys should do it.
No, I think Garth...
But Garth doesn't know who it... Yeah, you do. Do you remember his name, though?
Yeah.
I think I do, but it's a bit scary because I might get it wrong, and that would just be the worst thing ever. I think someone there should do it, just in case I've got it slightly wrong, which is something I'm quite good at doing.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, the winner's name is Chris Salt, and he did an amazing Lego video, and I believe he's on the line right now. Is he?
Yeah.
Hello, Chris.
Hi, Adam.
It's Joe here, actually, but that's all right. We're interchangeable. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks.
Now, say hello to Adam and Garth as well, and Garth and Adam, say hello to Chris.
Hello, Chris.
Hello, Chris. Will you be my
nice
friend?
to each other. Don't steal his curly whirly.
Do you like Transformers? Chris, where are you from?
I'm from Stoke-on-Trent.
Stoke-on-Trent. Stokey. Do you call it Stokey?
Generally just call it Stoke.
Trenticles? The Trent Farm? Doesn't matter. How old are you, Chris?
I'm 39.
39.
That's a very, very good age.
Good age.
And your video is extraordinary. Now, you've kind of got a website, and you specialise in doing these Lego animations. Is that correct?
Yeah, I've done a few, yeah.
And, you know, when we saw your video, we were so bowled over by it. We almost thought, this is too good, can't win.
We had a big argument about it, Chris.
It's like, it's too professional, it's too polished, it's just too good. And then we realised the lunacy of what we were saying. How can something be too good? Goodness should be rewarded, not sort of swept under the carpet. You know, it's a very British thing, isn't it?
We were sort of, basically what the deal was, Chris, that we were sort of thinking, you know, in terms of the big British castle profile, what would be lovely is if we found kind of a poor immigrant child who had made a video for the competition and they won. But all the videos from the poor immigrant children were really bad. So we just had to go for the best one, which was yours. What do you do for a living, Chris? Can I ask you?
I'm a computer programmer.
And the whole the whole Lego film thing is just a hobby, a sideline.
Yes, I mean, it's kind of alright financial software, so...
well, not anymore.
Playing with Lego.
Because from today, your life is changing. The second you put the phone down, it'll start ringing again, with major Hollywood studios trying to get you. That's not going to happen.
Have you done sort of professional Lego work for other people, Chris?
What's professional Lego work?
Well, has he been...
Oh, you don't mean like hired by millionaires to build things for their children?
Let's ask him. Have you got any jobs making films for other people?
I haven't, no. I had a couple of sort of indie bands asked me to do music videos for free.
For free? That's the snag, isn't it? Indie bands, they've never got any money. But, listeners out there, this guy's amazingly talented, Chris Salton. You can see his winning video on our website. And, you know, it's quite exciting that it might possibly go up on the red button and the BBC big screens and stuff. Isn't that quite exciting, Chris?
It's the big time.
I'm looking forward to touring the country and looking for those screens.
Well, what about touring down to London and coming into the studio? Is that an exciting prospect at all? Or does that fill you with fear and resentment?
It depends if the inappropriate touching is still on the card.
Well, do you want it or not want it?
He wants it from one of us. No, this is going down a very bad path.
But listen, Chris, can you just describe your video? Explain what happens in your video to the listeners, please.
It's I basically follows the lyrics of the song Jane's Brain. Starts off with a lady in her living room.
A Lego lady.
A Lego lady, yes. And it cuts to her teaching a class of children, and she's surrounded by elephants and monkeys, and it just goes downhill from there, really.
It goes uphill at great speed, because there's amazing transitions, and there's beautiful attention to detail, and there's an amazing effects shot where a car crashes through a kind of billboard that was particularly impressive. Didn't you think, Garth?
That was amazing, but I have to tell you, Chris, my favourite bit is the exhaust fumes that you made out of Lego. I thought that was brilliant.
Well,
That was absolutely a last-minute thing. Just occurred to me as I was filming it.
That was genius, man. You got Chris basically got the little grey single circular studs that you get with Lego, and he managed to animate them all at different little angles there, so it looked exactly like exhaust fumes from this car. It was amazing.
It's really good.
How long did it take you to make the whole thing, Chris?
The whole thing, it was about sort of 3 full days of animation and building sets and things.
Wowza.
A couple of evenings and stuff.
Good job, man.
Well, it's brilliant, and congratulations, and thank you for entering, and you know, it was an amazing bit of work.
When are you going to come and see us then, Chris? When can you come down?
You don't need to actually put a date in the diary right now. I wouldn't worry about it too much.
I want to know when Chris is going to come to the studio. When's Chris going to be here? Are you going to be here?
Listen, I don't think the show's going to... I think Adam needs a date.
A week after? When? When are you coming? When? Okay, we'll sort it out with you off the air.
You might even be putting him off with that.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Well, listen, thank you very, very much, Chris, for coming online. Thanks very much, Garth, for coming online.
Oh, it was my pleasure, and well done, Chris.
And thanks to everybody who entered. You know, we really were overwhelmed, and, you know, don't hate us for not choosing you, because we wanted to choose everybody, and it was really impossible. It's nearly the top of hour. What, have we got to talk a bit more up to the top of hour? No.
We're going to play it.
We're going to have a top of hour sweeper, then some Coldplay, just to, you know, bring everything...
into perspective.
Into perspective.
Oh.
Here's the sweeper.
Six Music.
That was a band called Coldplay. They're going to change things, so keep an eye out for them. You might not have paid attention to their lyrics, but there's some pretty radical stuff going on in there.
They're proposing a number of revolutions there, and so that's going to shake things up a little bit, and I would think the Russians would be listening to that around
Let's hope.
now.
Let's pray they are.
Yeah.
Let's pray that the Russians love their children too.
I think that's very unlikely.
I hate children.
I absolutely loathe them. So we're good at talking to people on the phone, aren't we?
Are we?
On our show. We're really amazing.
Do you think?
We should have like a regular guest. This is why we don't have guests, I don't think, listeners.
We used to be good on the other radio station.
Really?
Talking to people.
Talking
yeah,
to
that
people?
was just, it was a four-way. They're always complicated.
Four-way.
Remember
yeah.
that four-way?
Yeah.
This is Adam and Joe on BBC Six Music. It's time for...
Text the nation. Text the nation.
What if I don't want to?
Text the nation.
But I'm using email. Is that a problem?
It doesn't matter, text.
And Text the Nation this week is depressing or exciting things about coming back from your summer holiday. The things that make it enjoyable or depressing when you get back into the country.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the things that change are sometimes fun and also depressing. Like basically TV. The fact that TV sort of remains the same is a bit depressing. But then there'll be other new things, and you think, how did this happen? How did this get on the air? Do you know what I mean? Like insane kind of... I was thinking about Touch the Truck the other day. Do you remember that show?
Yes.
I remember getting back from holiday and Touch the Truck was on, and I thought, well, the world's much closer to...
Armageddon.
Armageddon. Do you remember what the premise of Touch the Truck was? They had a big truck, and people about 16...
Dale Winton. It was on Channel 5, and it was set in a shopping mall.
Yeah. And about...
you just had to keep your hand on the truck.
Yeah, 16 people or so, and then some after...
It wasn't a success.
After a few days, some people, stopped touching the truck, and the person who was still touching the truck for the longest time won the truck.
Yes.
And that's the kind of thing that you see when you get back from holiday, and you think, oh my goodness, what's happened?
I agree. To me, all the posters along the motorway on the way back from the airport, all the new advertising campaigns used to get me excited.
Yeah.
New films, stuff like that. But here's some stuff that's coming from listeners. Andy in Bath says, the worst thing for me is the realisation that if you take a Coke out of the fridge, it won't be replaced the next morning while you're out.
Yeah.
You have to go to the shop and buy one yourself. That's very true. I find hotel bathrooms fantastic. And, you know, the freshly made bed, the fact that a little lady comes in or a man and changes all your sheets and polishes everything while you're out is easy to get used to that kind of life.
Even a lady man sometimes.
Sometimes it's a lady man doing that polishing and they don't even use a cloth.
All your things when you're out.
Here's another one, and this is my favourite one. A couple of people have emailed in with this one. Jean and James Cameron in Blackpool have commented that something you may or may not enjoy coming back from holiday is the rare chance to experience the smell of your own house.
Right.
Now, this is very true, that houses have smells, and I remember as a kid, this had quite a big impact on me, but you used to be able to sort of smell a completely different aroma in every friend's house. And somehow it, what do they call it? Synesthesia or whatever it's called, where you associate colours or smell. I think synesthesia is associating colours with days of the week and stuff like that. But it's a similar kind of association, a general aroma with a particular house
triggers
or family. And I don't know whether it has to do with the family or the house, but it's true to say that you never become aware of your own smell because you're so used to it, unless you're coming back from holiday.
That's right. Well, it's all sorts of different things. It's like cleaning products and whether they've got pets and whether they smoke and all that kind of stuff. Gives a house a very particular scent. And then obviously sometimes if you're unlucky, though, maybe there's been an accident, like a little flood or whatever in the kitchen, and
Something's gone wrong.
Yeah, things will be stinky. I mean, that's deeply depressing when you come back to that.
But it can be shocking, the smell of your own house. As James goes on to say, it's like stepping out of your own self and then realising, this is what I smell like?
Yeah, it's usually nice and comforting, though, isn't it?
Yours isn't.
Really?
Your house smells like death and ice cream.
That's fairly accurate.
It's not true.
No, it's
Just
not.
made that up. Here's another one. I like being smug and saying, I never get jet lag, I just feel normal, because I'm great. That's from an anonymous texter.
Because I'm great. Very good job. I mean, have you ever been burgled when you've got back from holiday?
Don't think so. Maybe as a child.
Because that's the thing. That's the fear that absolutely everybody has. There's always a little voice in the back of your head saying, "Oh please, oh please." Like when you turn the key in the lock when you get back. You know what I mean? Wouldn't it be a nightmare if you turned it, but you don't need to turn it because the door is already ajar from when the burglar just left.
Or the door's off its hinges.
Or the
there
door's
are caravans and people camping in your front lawn.
Yeah.
In your front lawn, not on it.
One time we got back and that actually happened. The door just swung open. Didn't have to use the key. But here was the thing. We forgot that we had like a key holder alarm service guy. So there was this... So we opened the door, and there's this guy dressed in black leathers with a bike helmet on in the hallway.
Oh, my God.
I freaked out. I started to go, "Oh, what's going on?" It was the key holder
This was when you were
guy.
a child?
No, this was fairly recent.
Really?
And the alarm had gone off for some reason, so he'd come round to reset it. But it happened to be at the exact moment that we were getting back from holiday. It was very freaky indeed.
Ed Norrie in Bournemouth says, the best thing about getting back from holiday abroad is the immense relief at being able to go into a shop, bar or restaurant and ask for anything you like without talking really slowly and loudly, before attempting to involve a bemused shopkeeper in an impromptu game of international charades.
That's the British technique for communicating abroad, is talking slowly and loudly in British, in English, you know. Don't bother trying to speak in their language, obviously. That just leads to problems.
Rich says, my girlfriend Anne-Marie and I got so fed up with getting depressed after coming home from holiday that we moved to Uganda. We're planning on being here for years. Can you imagine how massively, massively annoyed we're going to be when we finally come back to the UK?
Man, you're going to have a massive pile of post.
It'd be really depressing.
Your phone messages will have filled up and everything. Touch the truck will be back on. So keep those emails coming in. Best and worst things about returning from holidays. This is Adam and Joe here on BBC Six Music. Now, is this your free play, Joe?
Yeah, this is some Raphael Sadiq. He's a soul man. He's the only non-major label artist to win 5 Grammys.
Is he? And is he the soul man? Is he C. Thomas Howell?
He is.
Oh.
C. Thomas Howell in his outfit from Soul Man, even though that's not really a film that's in circulation anymore.
It's not regularly played on Channel 5, is it?
It's bad in certain ways. But, you know, Raphael Sadiq isn't C. Thomas Howell in Soul Man.
He just blacks up C. Thomas Howell, right? No, he takes pills, doesn't he? To darken his skin. Is that the premise?
I don't even want to think about it. It's so profoundly wrong. That's Madness with Wings of a Dove. This is Adam and Joe on BBC Six Music on a Saturday morning. 45 minutes of the show left to go, and I'm wondering whether there are any American people listening.
Bound to be.
Do you think?
They're everywhere.
Some genuine, real American people.
Yeah.
Because if you are listening and you're American, I'd like your opinion on something. You know, if you're a regular listener, Adam and I enjoy actors doing bad accents in films.
Yeah, we haven't done it for a while, have we?
There's nothing we like more than, what's his name from Ocean's 11?
Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle trying to do an English accent. Or what are the other classic bad examples of Americans trying to do English accents?
Well, Dick Van Dyke, he's the king. I mean, that's his one is so mangled in Mary Poppins that it's you barely.
He's not really even trying.
No. Johnny Depp in From Hell.
Yeah, he does a pretty good sort of Bowie impression in Sweeney Todd as well.
Well, the accent is better in Sweeney Todd. In From Hell, he's going for something that's supposed to be more authentic. No one would have suspected that they had grapes. no one could afford grapes.
I remember playing clips from that. We played clips from that once, didn't we?
Yeah. There's Brad Pitt in 7 Years in Tibet.
Yes.
Oh, that's not really a British accent that he's doing, though, is it? It's German, I think.
But it's not very often that you get it the other way round, that you find a British actor trying to do an American accent.
Right.
And having a lot of trouble. And we're not saying it's easy, but it's just in the world of movies where there's massive amounts of money sloshing around, you would have thought, people would try a bit harder.
Or you just get an American actor.
An actor of the proper nationality, or a really good voice coach, or something to avoid this sort of thing happening. On the plane, on the way back from one of my recent jaunts, I watched a film called Fool's Gold with Matthew McConaughey and Kate Hudson.
Joe,
Yeah,
I'm giggling because Joe did a little grin after he said
I liked it.
Gold.
They're all practically naked through the whole thing, and it's very sunny. And I don't know really what happened in it, but it was very entertaining. But it included Ray Winstones, Britain's #1 hard man and British man pretending to be American.
He's done it a little bit. He was pretending to be American in The Departed.
Right.
As well.
Was he making a good fist of it in The Departed?
No, he made a bad fist.
Well, here are some examples of Ray Winstone's. Am I saying his name correctly?
Winston. Winston, yeah.
Of his American accent in the film Fool's Gold. He plays a kind of barnacled, crusty sailor pirate man who's forever trying to muscle in on the gold-finding action in the shallow blue waters of the Bahamas. And and this is one of his first attempts at an American accent.
Well, Mr. Dees, I'm always delighted to welcome an entrant into my field, whether it be on land or sea. But I feel I need to warn you. There's no way of getting away from treasure once it's fastened itself on your mind.
He's going for it there. He's going for the Deep South thing, right?
Well, I feel like to warn you. There's no way to fight it.
But it keeps slipping. It's too much of a stretch. He's like tied with a rubber band vocally to the East End or wherever he's from. And he keeps boinging back there. Listen to it happen in this second excerpt.
Well, sir, I was just going to set off some charges and take a look. You might want to ease back a ways just in case we accidentally scratch your finish.
Scratch your finish.
You're the kids, we accidentally scratch your finish.
It just plonks right back into the East End at the end there.
That's amazing.
And, well, it gets worse than that. This is the worst one I could find.
Who directed this film?
I don't know. I'm not sure it was directed. They just all improvised it. But here's Ray's final and most glorious attempt at being American.
Who the hell set off that charge? There's a man down there. Anybody gonna kill that boy, it's gonna be me.
It's gonna be me. Anybody gonna kill that boy, it's gonna be me. That is amazing.
So what I'm interested in from our American listeners is, does that, to an American ear, sound like an American accent? Are millions of American cinema goers being fooled into thinking that Ray Winstone's is an American man? Or is the logic, well, you know, Ray Winstone, he's a big name. It doesn't matter if he's not very good. He's Ray Winstone.
Well, it's the power of the performance is the thing, though, isn't it? And he's
Right.
very charismatic as an actor.
Yeah, but Fool's Gold is very immersive narrative. You really want to believe that it all really happened, and he just pops you out of it there.
Does he?
Yeah, you're so just immersed in the reality of the moment-to-moment search for lost treasure.
Do we
in
know
Bahamas.
how much do we know about the character, Ray's character?
Not much.
So
we know that he's American.
He doesn't talk about where I came from.
No, those are his 3 scenes.
Right.
I just played you everything he does in the film. Honestly, I pretty much did.
He just pops up.
There are a couple of ones where he says bad words that I couldn't play.
Well, he's got kind of jaunty music playing underneath in there as well.
As if the whole thing's tongue-in-cheek.
A little bit, yeah. Because you know a film that you were talking about the other day that I went and checked out was National Treasure 2.
Right. There you go. Well, that's an example of a very, very bad English accent from Nicolas Cage, but maybe purposely so.
Purposely,
in that film.
yeah. That was a funny scene, though, that he does in there.
No, it wasn't.
I enjoyed that film.
Did you? Well, you were prepped for it. I didn't know what was going on when that... This is we can't go into too much detail, but if you're a regular listener, you'll know what we're talking about.
Yeah. It was on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, but I thought it was funny.
Did you?
Yeah, I liked it. I was chuckling away. That's amazing, Ray Winstone's. What's he thinking about? That's worse than his one in The Departed, which was pretty mangalised.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, get in touch if you're American. Is that convincing at all, or do you just listen to that and think, well, that's Ray Winstone making a bad semi-fist of it?
Yeah, I'd love to know. Now, here's a free play, and this is a bit of Van Morrison. We're partial to a slice of Van. I think Van Morrison is playing tonight, in fact, up in North London, in that, where's that lovely stately home park place?
Yeah, that
Kenwood,
one.
yeah. I think he's
Somebody told me
there.
an amazing story about how Van Morrison's band used to get revenge for him, involving a bag full of harmonicas, Van Morrison popping to the loo. Yeah. Have you heard that story?
There's loads of revolting...
They do something horrible to one of the harmonicas and then wait for him to play it.
Yeah.
You can fill in the gaps.
I think, yes, we can.
Probably apocryphal, notoriously grumpy Van Morrison, but a genius.
He's a genius. I love the man. And I'd like to dedicate this song to my friend Tony Law, wonderful stand-up comedian. And he's getting married tonight, or today, in fact, to his lovely girlfriend Storm, and I wish I could be there, Tony, but unfortunately I can't because I'm moving house. Congratulations, and they're going off to see Van Morrison tonight. It's a nice name, isn't it?
Yes.
Storm.
What's her real name?
Storm.
Really?
Yes.
What's her second name?
Dribble. No, it's not.
Front would be a good second name.
Stormfront, exactly. Frunt. No, that's not her surname. But Storm
Law.
Listen, I'm trying to dedicate a song to
She should get
Storm
straight
and
to
Tony.
HBO and get some kind of legal series.
Storm Law. Stormholder. What? Congratulations, chaps. I hope you have a wonderful day if you're listening, and I'd like to dedicate this song to you. Hope you enjoy Van Morrison tonight if you're going to see him at Kenwood. This is Glad Tidings.
T-Rex with 20th Century Boy from 1972.
I preferred the Sieg Sieg Sputnik version.
Did you? Whatever happened to Sieg Sieg Sputnik?
I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. Tony James is now in Carbon Silicon with ex-Clash man, what's his name? The bloke from the Clash.
That was good. You nearly had it then.
I nearly had it. I know exactly what his name. Mick Jones.
Right.
And they've got a new single out, I think, and it's called something like Good Morning, Here is the News or something, and the cover has got them looking ancient on the front, deliberately so, I think, as if they were newsreaders.
Great. Thanks for answering.
Okay.
We're going to put Text the Nation to sleep forever now, like a kindly vet. The question was, what are the depressing and exciting things about getting back from holiday? Two more to read out. One from Victoria Seacombe. And she says, hello, I returned from a trip to Florida many years ago laden with sweet-based gifts for our neighbours. We were all about 11, excited at the opportunity to show off all the spoils from amazing foreign lands. Imagine my disappointment to discover that in the 2 weeks we'd been away, Skittles had been introduced to the UK, and the bored look on the faces of our neighbours, oh dear.
Aww.
It's true that there are fewer glamorous foreign brands.
Yeah.
They've started to unify the brands, haven't they? Like, what was that detergent one? Like Jif or whatever.
Sif.
Jif became Sif. Snickers and all that business everyone always goes on about.
Yeah.
But one of the knock-on effects of that is it makes it less exciting to go abroad.
Milk Duds, you don't get those in the UK, do you?
No, they're an American thing. Junior Mints, you don't get those either. There's still one or two. Goobers.
Yeah.
There's still one or two that you can't get in the UK. But Euro-wise, it's all a bit unified in a boring way.
Well, that's because of the happy world of Haribo, though, isn't it?
That's true. Is it?
Yeah.
Haribo, they have political influence.
They're big, chewy tentacles.
Really? They have a seat in the EU.
Across.
I think, that big jelly man.
Well, the place where we go on holiday in France is where the Haribo Museum actually is.
You've spoken about the Haribo Museum before, and God forbid we open up that can of jelly worms. And the final email is from Simon Misra. He's hungover and working in Manchester. He says, "Morning, Adam and Joe. The best thing about returning from holiday is knowing that you're still digesting the last thing you ate from that final depressing farewell holiday meal, and you can cling to the cherished memories of it until the fodder is expelled from your system." That's a nice base one to end on, I think.
Yeah.
Bringing things back round to the lavvy, where we live.
Although usually it's a question of digesting the food that you ate on the plane, you know, and that's always a strange mixture, especially if you have a little bit of wine. There's something very peculiar about the combination of sort of wine, chocolate,
I
and
don't want to get into this area,
and
do
food
we?
that you get on a plane sometimes, and it kind of shakes you around up there at 10,000 feet or whatever.
10,000?
And it's weird.
Yeah.
Are you not flying at 10,000 feet?
Usually, but isn't it about 30? It's about 30.
I go much lower. Much lower.
Maybe it is lower to Europe.
30,000 is dangerous.
I don't know.
What kind of planes you're flying on, but that's dangerous. You're not supposed to go above 10,000.
So that's the end of...
If anything goes wrong, you can jump out.
It's safe to jump at 10,000 feet,
It's
that's
safe to jump,
true.
yeah, because your trousers open up and then they slow you down.
I tell you what, if you ever do have to jump out of a plane, always jump out over Chinatown. Because of all the awnings. And they break your fall one after the next.
It's a top tip.
That's the end of Text the Nation. For this week, we'll have another one next week. What now?
Daddy's gone. It's Las Vegas time. Oh my gosh. That was more epic than I thought it was going to be.
It was tiring, wasn't it?
That was
But
Vegas.
satisfying.
Yeah.
Well, that's called Daddy's Gone. Sad news for everybody. It's released on the 25th of August physically, but you can download it in a metaphysical form from Sunday the 24th.
I love the way you stopped there.
Thanks. This is Adam and Joe on BBC Six Music, coming up to the last exciting breakneck 15 minutes of the show. And I've got an idea, Adam.
Go on then.
You know ID cards?
Yeah, they should be compulsory.
Yeah, well, no, they don't work. Nothing works. The computer men can hack them and everything. It's not working.
Right.
So I've got a solution to the problem.
What are you going to do?
I think that everybody should have a unique name.
Right.
Now, this is already happening in the world of computers. Your online name won't be Adam Buxton, right? It's Buckles72.
Johnny
90
Wisbot
or-
596.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think people should be christened with those names.
Yeah.
And you should have everyone in the world should have a unique name, because we're used to the idea of involving weird words and numbers in names now, right? Mm-hmm. And so you'd be christened. You know, I christened this child Wisbot44. That would happen in the church in the christening bowl.
Yeah.
Bowl. And then from then on,
That's what it's called.
you would be addressed by that name, and you'd also use it on all websites. The police could stop you and, you know, ask your name.
Yeah.
And they'd know exactly who you are. You'd have a unique criminal file.
What's your name, son? Wisbot. Full name, Wisbot44.
Exactly. That's the end of the idea, but it's quite brilliant, don't you think?
That is a good idea.
Yeah, because basically, what is your online name?
It's
Have you
just
got a funny one?
No, I don't. But because for the purposes, you see, I don't like the people hiding behind fake
People
names.
of our age actually got in there quite early.
Yeah.
I got quite a good name quite early. I can't say it
No.
because it'll bring me all sorts of online
You
hassle.
mean the name that I use for like emails and stuff?
Yeah, well, for instance, if you log on to a new service, or if you're a video gamer and you log on to an online gaming thing, you have to choose a unique name. And these days, you go through 20 or 30 before you can either use one of the suggested ones, or you can go through 20. And the most obscure ones are always taken. You think, oh, no one's called Pizza 84 Mini Clubman.
I am.
And you are, you see?
See, if you wanted to use that, you'd have to be called Pizza 84 Mini Clubman 2.
Exactly. Which would, in my new world, be a legitimate name.
Yeah.
And did I mention that this name is tattooed on your forehead?
You failed to mention.
Did I? Well, that's
Yeah.
a key ingredient as well. It's tattooed on your forehead at birth.
Well, that's good because it makes the parents think harder about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so Wisbot44 would be good. Pizza Man wouldn't be so good.
No, that would be too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very... And have you thought about what your name would be? You're going to stick with the one you have
I do
already?
have an online name. I go by the name of Joebot. Sometimes it's a mixture of Joe and Robot.
Right, I like it.
So I might use that one.
That would be taken.
I'm
though.
not the only Joebot, though. I'm the only Joebot on certain things.
What suffix would you use if that was taken?
I'd try and not go for a number.
Really?
I think that would be a bit common.
Random letters?
Maybe some Japanese letters, because you could use other scripts as well,
Bit
other
of kanji.
fonts. Exactly, some kanji.
Yeah.
And, so it's a good idea, don't you think?
I think it's a
It's
brilliant...
the kind of forward-thinking political idea that the current parties can't, they're too stuck in the mud to
I
come
don't
up
see
with.
Gordon Brown getting his head around Whizbot.
No, it's an idea for the future.
Yeah.
When this radio show gets bigger and we go into politics.
And we can start making some policy decisions.
Yeah.
They've told us our contract is up in October, and that's one of the things we're negotiating for, is to be actually allowed to make some policy decisions for the government.
Yeah.
Mainly me, I think.
That's a good idea.
They're trying to edge you out.
Mine are a bit too right-wing.
Now, here's a free play. This is your choice now, Joe.
Yeah, this is some Stereolab for you. They've got a new album coming out very soon, but I haven't heard it. This is... Jude's got it. There you go. This is from an old album. This is a classic. This is called French Disco with a K.
It's a little gone a bit gothic there at the end, isn't it? Dancing around and...
That's what it's like in French discos.
Oh, I wish I was in a French disco right now. She's with Laetitia Sadier.
The lady from Stereolab.
She's just about as adorable as it's possible to get, though, isn't she?
Yes.
Oh, my Lord. She's so
French
very
disco is
sexy.
generally very sexy. I remember going to a disco when I was on a French exchange. All sorts of things happened there.
Did they really?
Whole new worlds opened up.
A whole new world, a new fantastic French point of view.
Yes.
Okay, now that's pretty much it for our show, ladies and gentlemen. Liz Kershaw is back with you very shortly, but we have a sad announcement to make now. This is our last show with our producer, Jude Adam, who has been with us since we joined Six Music almost a year ago now.
We've tired of her. So we are going to blast her into space. Actually, she's blasting herself into space. She's going to live in America.
She's going to live in America where they got coke coming out of the taps.
It's a superior country where people are free.
Right.
In America, people are generally just free to do what they please.
You can say what you want pretty much any time of the day.
You can do what you want. You can express yourself in whatever way, which for people who live in Britain is a tantalising prospect.
There's no health and safety regulations
The weather's
in America.
nice. There's all kinds of different terrain. There's snow and hotness and coldness. You don't even have to leave the country.
Free money.
Making amazing donuts.
Amazing health.
Their telly's very good. It's better than British television at the moment.
It's good. The only downside is that you have to
It's run by a
fight.
lunatic.
It's run by a lunatic. You have to fight in completely insane wars. So if you're up for that, then you'll be sorted. But Jude, seriously, we're going to miss you. Thank you so much for taking good care of us, making us sound half decent. Imagine what we're going to sound like now you've gone.
No, it's a disaster.
It's all going to fall apart.
Hey, thanks, Jude.
We've got a little jingle for you, Big British Castle jingle to say goodbye to you.
This
Here
is
it is.
very emotional.
One of our loyal subjects is leaving the castle. Her name is Jude, and she's going to America. All of the people of the castle wish her lots of luck. But if she's stolen anything, we shall hunt her down and lock her away.
And that's as sincere. Even if it's stationery or just some blank CDs, we'll find them. The detectors will go off, and you won't be allowed to enter America at all. You'll be kept here in the hold, the dungeon of the Big British Castle.
That's it for this week. Thanks very much to listening. Thanks to everybody who entered the Video Wars competition. Congratulations to our winners. Thanks for listening. Thank you most of all to Jude for all her hard work over the last year.
You're welcome.
We're going to miss you. Take care. And we'll be with you again next week, listeners. Stay tuned for Liz Kershaw.
Bye.
Bye.